Okay, guys, so we're back. Again today. I'm gonna try to get caught up on some stuff. What we're gonna do today is take a look at a couple pen machines that are super cheap, and we're gonna take a look at some other machines that they're not super cheap, but everything we're gonna look at today is under $100, and will tattoo the shit out of somebody. So guarantee it will. I have mini machines, like 70 of them, and uh, a lot of them, they'll tattoo, but they're just cheap pieces of crap. Uh, but a lot of these other ones that I have, I've changed a few things on. If it's a cool machine, upgraded some stuff and made them worthy machines. But as far as a pen goes, you're not really upgrading that much unless you put a new motor in it or something like that. So a pen is what you get. So we're going to start out with the solong uh, solong pen hybrid, I guess they call it. It's a Cheyenne knockoff. I mean, it almost looks identical. In the reviews, everybody said that it hits harder than the actual Cheyenne and is a super good machine. Like, it had really nothing but great reviews about it. So I got it to try it. I got it for the battery packs that came with it, is why I got it originally. But these little things right here are like, they're a game changer, man. You really can't beat them. Unfortunately, it's pretty smooth for a $40 machine. I think that's what just the machine cost. I mean, it didn't run quite this smooth when I got it because I guess something was sitting wrong in it, maybe. I'm not sure, but this was glued together. And I scraped all the glue off of this here, and there's actually still some on it. I scraped most of the glue off of the threads, and this little wheel right here, if you can see it, see the little spots where it's wallered out in a few of them, and it's not in others? So after you get one wallered out, it starts to get a little bit of a rattle to it. So you got, what, 10 more spots that you can put it to get it back to hitting smooth again. Not that the rattle really makes it hit much different. I don't really think it does, but it just gets a little louder. So put a little extra grease on it, and I cleaned the threads off, and you just turn this thing so that when it lands on this little pin, this little rod right here, it puts it in a new groove that's not wallered out. And it comes, it sounds like brand new again. It runs a lot smoother since I've taken it apart and oiled everything up and stuff like that. So this pen right here is well worth the $40 that they charge for it. There's just no doubt about it. Now, how long it will last, I couldn't tell you. It's a 10-watt motor. So yeah, I'm not sure how long it'll last, but it's done many tattoos for me. So, and it lines like a beast. It really does hit hard. It's worthy of the money you pay for it. But like I said, you get what you pay for. So, how long it'll last, I don't know. But for right out of the package, it's a tattooing son of a bitch right there, man. I really like it. And then we're gonna take a look here at. I gotta make this quick. I'm running out of space on my phone. So we're gonna take a look at this Dragonhawk Atom, I think it is. I'm not sure. There's an M1 and some other stuff. I'm not sure which one this is. It's a J2, M1, something like that. This machine right here, super nice machine. I was never able to get this one apart. I didn't want to scratch it all to hell, putting pliers on it. So, yeah, I can't get the motor out on this one. It's definitely glued tight. But the only thing that most people don't like about it is that it doesn't have a click grip. But I've never had it move during a tattoo, but I did take. Yeah, that's right. The motor does come out on this thing, but I'm not going to pull it out because it's connected here. Anyway, I put 2 extra O-rings on here. Okay, I put one up here and I put one right here. The black ones are mine, and I oiled it up real good and shaved a few burrs off of it with a file. And this thing just goes on so smooth and tight. Without the extra O-rings, though, this thing will turn while you're tattooing and change your depth for you. So, but I mean, it's an easy fix, is my point. I'm not quite sure how much this machine cost. I think it was like, I want to say it was like $80, $89 for this, and like 20 cartridges and a power supply. So the machine itself is probably $40, just like the Solong was. This machine has lasted around, so far, 6 months, still running strong. I mean, super nice machine. It's super quiet. I mean, this is probably one of the quietest machines I have for a pen. But I mean, it's a nice machine. It doesn't hit quite as hard as it's right by the speaker, so it doesn't hit quite as hard as that Solong does, but it does a hell of a job. I mean, I line with it, I shade with it. It's, you know, they pack color great. This is well worth what you pay for it. You know, if you're just wanting to test a pen out, you just start with something cheap. Now, this next one is one of my favorite, and I get a lot of shit for this, but I love Dragonhawk equipment. I don't care what it is. You know, it's where it's made doesn't matter to me. It's the quality of the equipment that I receive and the care from the customer service that makes me love Dragonhawk. So, damn, that Starbucks coffee's good. So anyway, we're gonna have to change that voltage. Take a look at this one. Don't run this machine without a cartridge in it, because if you hold it like the wrong direction, it makes a really funny noise. This thing doesn't have a normal rod in it that connects to this plunger on the cartridge. It's got this little flat. You can see that? That whole flat thing moves up and down. And this little tip sets in that groove, that little hole that you see. And that whole thing goes up and down. It's not just a rod. So it's a really neat little design. And this machine, I'm telling you right now, I've heard a lot of people say they don't like it, but this little machine improved my line work by like 100 times. Like really, really did. I had to slow down a lot and really take my time and focus on what I was doing, and it made me do that. So I think that really, you know, I really took a lot away from this little machine right here. I still use it all the time. It's a great machine. You can adjust the depth by turning it. It's not a click grip, but it's never moved on me because you're not touching the top part. You're only touching the actual grip, and that's, you know, that's not going to move on you. So super smooth. I mean, it's a well thought out, well put together design. It's just so tiny, you know. If y'all can see that a little better now. That whole flat piece with that groove in it actually is what pushes the cartridge. It's a pretty neat little design. I'm not sure, I can't get inside of it that I know of. Maybe it comes apart right there. I'll have to check into that and get back to you, but I've never had to take it apart, and this thing runs amazing. Don't run it over 8 volts. It'll start at like 1 volt, even with a cartridge in it, but don't run it over 8 volts because you will burn it up. Great little machine though. I love this thing, and it was maybe $89, I think. 83, 84, 89, something like that. Wow, that was rattling. When you run it without it, though, you can't even hear it running. It's completely silent. It has absolutely no vibration. You cannot even tell that this thing's running in your hand. And it's so sleek and so small. I mean, it's a really sharp-looking little machine. This is the Dragonhawk Mast Tour pen. Not the Tour Pro, the Tour pen. I mean, it's tiny. It really is compared to one of these things. You know, I mean, that's a big difference. I think it's 3.5 inches long. I want to say it's got a 4mm stroke, but it could be like 3.7 or 3.5. I prefer it to be at least a 4. I wish they would make these pens with, like, you know, a bigger stroke than a 4. That would be nice. But, like, yeah, that'd be nice. But regardless, it gives me enough room to do what I need to do. So, I mean, it's got a pretty good throw on it. I've had it for, I guess, 3 or 4 months, something like that. It's never hiccuped. It's never stopped running. It's never not done its job. So, and it's just so tiny. I mean, it's literally like holding a marker in your hand. I always put really big grips on it, so I don't buy the disposable grips anymore for these things. I had a bunch of foam ones, but I've recently just started taking paper towels and wrapping it, and then wrapping it after I put the plastic on it and stuff, and then wrapping it with my bandage wrap. So anyway, that's that for that machine. So these 3 machines I highly recommend. You got the Dragonhawk Atom, Dragonhawk Mast, and the Solong tattoo pen. All 3 of which really are quality machines for the price that you're paying for them. You cannot beat them. So check them out on Amazon. Like I said, the Solong is around 40. The Dragonhawk's around 40. You can get the kit for like 90, probably even less now. And the tour pen is around 90 as well. So check them out. I did a video on this earlier today. I'm not going to get back into it now, but this is the CNC Q3 pill. It's over $100, so I'm not going to include it in this one today. This little machine here, made by Stigma, not Stigma, made by Solong's Stigma, like the cartridges. So, it's a super nice little machine. I got it when it first came out, which was quite some time ago, and I never used it. I've only used it once since then, but I mean, it's a hard hitting machine. I haven't really been using many standard things here lately, so standard needles. It's super quiet though. It's a smooth. I mean, this is one smooth running machine as far as sound, but it has got so much vibration to it. You would think with a design as nice as this is that it wouldn't, but that's one reason that I didn't like it. But I mean, really, in all honesty, it lines great. It's a hard hitting little machine. Does it compare to a Humminbird Mini direct drive? Not in a million fucking years. But on a budget, I want to say it was like $30. This thing right here, if you're looking for a good direct drive, there's not a damn thing wrong with this. And if you wanted, you could replace this motor with a Swiss or whatever kind of motor you're wanting. I'm sure they make one that'll fit this little thing right here with no problem. So, and we got the Dragonhawk Extreme, which honestly, I mean, I like this machine. For small liners, this thing lines beautifully. Long as you don't have to, turn it up too high or put too big of a needle in it. I mean, it lines great, and it does some real nice soft shading. So, I still use it, sometimes, but I haven't been lately. But I mean, it's here if I need it. It's not the worst machine I've ever bought. It wasn't worth what I paid for it, but it's one of the few Dragonhawk things that have really, I didn't like all that much, But it's a pretty decent machine. I mean, to each their own. Some people might like it, So I forget how much it cost. Pretty neat little machine. Now this right here was probably the best $8 that I ever spent. This knockoff swash drive whip. It was either $8 or $12. And this machine right here ain't no joke, man. I'm telling you. I don't know where my stealth knockoff went, but that little fucking thing, man, it was $8. That son of a bitch will lay a line with a cartridge like you could not even imagine. I mean, that's a hard hitting machine. And long stroke on it, lays beautiful lines, just like this. It's got a super long stroke. It's over 4 millimeters, I'm sure. But I mean, it's a good machine. It's well worth paying the money for it. I don't know how long it'll last. I've had it for a year, and I have used it many, many, many days. So, and it still runs. It does, after a good session with a big needle, like I've had this thing push 18 round liners, no problem. But about 2 hours into it, it does start to lose, its power. Like it starts kind of waving in and out a little bit. So, because it's overheating. but you know, for a short session with an 18 round liner, it would work great. But with a small needle, it'd push it all day long. So I mean, it's well worth it. As far as that goes, we got this little Dragonfly knockoff of what I guess an ink machine. This right here, I've tattooed with many days for an entire year. It still runs like brand new. It's never gave in and out on me. It is not adjustable. It does turn. This little knob does. I glued it down to keep it in place because it actually keeps this thing from going too far up. So, great little machine. I replaced the little piece here on it, the little tensioner. Yeah, I mean, it's a good machine. I think it was $12. I want to say I actually bought this on Walmart.com when I first started tattooing. So, and I've used it ever since. It lays beautiful lines. It works great. And as far as cool machines go, we got this. I got this for, I think it was like the artistry store or something on Amazon. It's called a monster machine or something like that. This little machine right here will lay lines so beautifully. It's got this really neat little armature bar that's really fat in the front, skinny in the back. I just changed the springs, left the bar the same. It's the same coils that were on it. And I mean, this thing's a champ, dude. These are real copper coils. I think this thing's like 30 or 40 bucks. Sometimes you buy stuff, man, you just get lucky, you know. We've got the Red Scorpion. I think they're all part of Mummy and all that stuff. This machine came in a set with a shader and a liner, and they're real copper coils. I've pretty much taken this whole thing apart several times. Yeah, and there's no doubt that this machine right here, well, not this one, but the other one will lay the hell out of some lines. This one packed color to no end. So, I think the set was like 30 or 40 bucks. So, I mean, if you're looking for a machine and you're just getting started out, all of these machines are amazing. Like, they will guarantee you they will work to tattoo. I know for a fact because I've tattooed with all of them many times. And if you want to get into stuff that's a little bit more expensive, like I want to say the Compass series by Dragonhawk, these liner and shader set right here, I think it was like 70 bucks. Absolutely can't beat it, man. These things right here are true workhorse machines, man. I'm telling you. I replaced all the brass stuff that's on it, put these big thick washers on it and stuff to make it look pretty because I like that big beefy look. But I mean, it's super heavy. Is the takeaway from it, you know? I love how the stuff's gotten like old looking. The brass has. It's beautiful. Nice machine. 2-piece frame. So I mean, you can break this whole freaking thing down. It's a really nice set of machines for 70 bucks. So it's got DT9 oxygen-free copper coils, 100% copper. So I've looked into that, and it's apparently some really good copper. So DT9 oxygen-free. I want to say that's what it said. These have the same. This machine has the same type of coils. That one does, just a different design on them. This machine was just at $100. So this is going to be the last one right here. It's another Compass series by Dragonhawk, but I'm not sure. It's the Magellan series maybe or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but it was right at $100 for this single machine. It's a lot. It is the smoothest running coil machine that I've ever had, and I have not changed anything but some of the contacts on it, and that's it. Some washers and contacts. The springs, the armature bar, the coils, the frames, all factory, and this thing's worth every frickin' penny. This is one of the only coil machines that I still use out of all like 50 of them that I've got. So anyway, guys are looking for some cheaper equipment, this is the route to go, really. I've went through and sifted through all the bullshit to get to this stuff that's actually decent for a cheap price. So yeah, we'll take a listen to a couple of these. This is at 8 volts, and it's a year old. I've been using it. I've used it so many times I can't even count them all, and it still runs just as smooth as the day I got it. So, this one, it's a smooth runner. It's a really hard hitter when you got it dropped all the way down to the longest stroke. But And it's a smooth machine. It really is. Like I said, it's not this. I don't really like the style, to be honest with you. It does line like a beast for small liners, though. There's no doubt about that. So that's about it. I guess I'm not gonna break out the clip cord and shit. I guess I could. I guess it wouldn't hurt nothing. And we'll listen to a couple of these other ones run. That's at 8 volts, which I'm going to have to turn way down for my cool machines. But I mean, you know, this thing right here, it's a year old. It's still getting it, man, for $12. And I know for a fact that both of these will tattoo like really fucking good because I've used them both. Let me turn this power down to about 4 volts because I got my cool machines tuned in pretty well, I think. Right around 4 volts unloaded, so still too much. More like 3.5 is what it should be, but this thing's getting it, man. Super smooth, super nice machine. And then we got the Compass series. Wind slamming my doors like crazy. I mean, this thing's super nice machine, man. Really is. It's running at like 155 cycles per second. 51% duty cycle. So yeah, I mean it's a nice machine. This is the shader out of the set of the Red Scorpion. Yeah, I mean it's nice and soft. This is the. I'm not sure if I have this one tuned. I was just fooling with it the other day. This one was like 25 or 30 bucks, and I mean, you're not gonna stop it. So anyway, that's that. I got a few more videos coming out, hopefully later tonight for several other machines. Over $100. What else? And to come in the future here over the next week or two, I've got a lot of new stuff coming in, and we're gonna review all that too. Hopefully next I'm gonna get to this table. I really want to do this, and then we'll do the other machines hopefully this evening. So we'll see you guys later.